Variables are like running totals that your Typeform can keep track of. That means that you can add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers to these variables as people go through your Typeform. There are two default variables in Typeform, price and score, but you can add more variables if you want. Maybe you have a 3-part quiz and you want to score each section. Or maybe you want to summarize different prices for different types of products. Still confused? Let's break it down with an example. I've created this simple quiz covering 3 different topics: geography, biology, and math. I want to calculate a score for each topic and then add those up to give a total score. The first thing we want to do is add our variables. Under Logic and Advanced, click on Variables. Here you'll see 2 default variables, price and score. We'll use score later, but for now, we're more interested in our custom variables. First, I'll add a variable for the score in the geography section. Here you can choose whether you want a number or text variable. We want to use a number, so we'll leave that as it is. Then it'll ask if you want to assign a value. This means that it would automatically add this value to the variable's total. We don't want that here, so we'll leave it at 0. Then we'll add another variable for biology, and then one for math. Now that that's all set up, the next step is to add scoring. We'll do that under Simple, and then Branching and Calculations. We'll start with the first quiz question, which is, what is the capital of Spain? The correct answer here is A, Madrid. So we'll say if the answer is Madrid, then we'll add. Then from this dropdown, we'll choose to enter a number, and we'll put 1 here. Then, because this question is in the geography section, we'll choose to add it to the geography variable. Then we'll add another rule that says, if the answer is B, Barcelona, and we'll add a condition, and we'll change this to or, and then we'll add C, Paris, or D, London, then we'll add 0 to the geography variable. And it's not necessary to add the logic here since we're not adding any points, but I wanted to show what the process looks like in case you have different point values for each answer. Then we'll do the same for each quiz question, making sure to add the point value to each variable depending on which category the question falls into. So here you can see that I've added the points from question 4, 5, and 6 to the biology variable, and for 7, 8, and 9 to the math variable. Finally, we want to add all the variables together to calculate a total score. We'll go down to the final statement question right before the ending screen. Here we'll select to always add, then choose geography to the score. We'll do the same and always add bio and math to the score. This ensures that we're adding the total of each variable to the total score. Click Save, and that's the logic of our quiz done. The final step is to add these variables to the ending screen so that our respondents can see their scores. For each section here, we'll use Recall Information to show their score. Here we'll hit the @ symbol and then scroll down to the bottom and choose Geography. We'll do the same for biology here, and again for math. Finally, we'll do the same for the final score. And we're set. Hit Publish, and we're ready. Now, once we reach the end of the quiz, we'll be able to see how we scored per section and the total score for our quiz. Genius!